when I very first had the opportunity to potentially be a part of a bobsled team. I didn't know how realistic that was.
Tia-Clair Toomey-Orr, who is an absolute CrossFit sensation, 5-time world champion, a legend of the game. She brings a lot of power to the sport. Her ability to learn everything from how to take care of the sled to how to train for the sport has been really inspiring, and she's picked it up really quickly.
We're doing it because it's exciting, throwing ourselves into a new realm. We want to challenge ourselves. Tia wants to be out there. She wants to run down this.
Tia is very coachable and will practice it over and over again, which is what makes her such a perfectionist.
Down, push. Yes.
I've been able to transition and really focus on my speed, on my power, and I'm trying to get hundredths of a second better. So when I very first went in the bobsled and went down the track, I just didn't know what to expect at the time. I actually did not enjoy it at all. I fought the G-forces, so everything just like ached afterwards because I was just like forcing it. I didn't relax, and I didn't understand. I was like, why do people want to do this? Like, you get bashed around in the sled, like what's the point? Totally get the driver because you can see where you're going. What's fascinating, I think, is like me being okay with taking the back seat, trying to put my pilot in the best possible position so that she only has to focus on driving, but I'm like the power behind it.
Okay, walk to the line and drive. Let's go, use the ground. You gotta use the ground. Yep.
Never did I think that I'd be growing up thinking that I'm going to be a part of a bobsled team. For me, being thrown into a team, into people I've never even met before, I just automatically had to trust them. I had to trust my pilot that she knew what she was doing. I had to trust in the team around me that they were confident in their own abilities, and they were helping me understand this sport as fast as possible because I'm going from a 2-month training camp into an Olympic campaign.
Drive, 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 drive. Tia, she's not a sprinter. She's a fantastic weightlifter, an amazing CrossFitter, as we know, and we're every day teaching her more and more techniques when it comes to the running. It's been an exponential improvement. Step back into it, drive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There it is, 6. Now we're gonna go B's now, out. Midfoot strike, under the hip.
It's been frustrating because there's just so much to think about, and I understand what they're saying and putting down, but then in order to get my body doing it, you're trying to find that muscle memory, which doesn't exist because I haven't done it before.
Until we know each track, we're going to plan accordingly. Like when you go to Altenburg, you're going to be taking 16 to 18 of the best steps of your life. 16, 18 steps is where I need your speed, drive, and focus for the next 5 months.
For me as an athlete, I'm prioritizing what's coming next. So throughout the off season, of course, I was like getting stronger and working on my speed because those tests were going to come up at the CrossFit Games. You hear a lot of stories from previous and current bobsled athletes that they didn't just start in bobsled, they've actually been transitioned from track or rugby or other sports that have a lot of strength, a lot of speed, and a lot of power.
It is incredible what we are seeing right now.
I have been to the Olympics in 2016 for weightlifting. I've won Commonwealth gold medal, and I've also am the 5-time fittest woman on earth at the CrossFit Games.
Dominance defined, history made, legacy left for the 5th straight time. Tia Toomey-Orr is the fittest woman on earth.
I put a lot of expectations on myself, and I want to really go above and beyond and everything. But at the end of the day, you can only do what you can do right there and then. And I think you have to understand that and be okay with that, because sometimes it doesn't go your way.
After the CrossFit Games, it was about realizing where I was in my body weight and knowing I needed to put on a certain amount of pounds to make sure I was making up for the weight in the sled with my pilot.
Want to be 20 more pounds heavier. It's going to be a long process.
In CrossFit, I've had to be at a very comfortable weight that allows me to perform gymnastics movements, but also get under weight and odd objects. I'm trying to now put on weight, which is the complete opposite to what I've had to do in the past. Throughout these training cycles, I'm having to juggle a bit of CrossFit and the bobsled because I need to compete at the Rogue Invitational. Training for any CrossFit event, you're required to have that endurance. You're required to do such a vast variety of things within the sport that you're not really required to do that in bobsled, so that's where the difference is.
And 260, a new record and an event win for Tia Toomey.
I want to be making sure that I'm going out there and being the absolute best. But I also want to make sure that I'm so ready for when our very first race comes in the World Cup for the bobsled season that none of my speed has been affected.
Tia Toomey is going to win Event 7, and she is your 3-time Rogue Invitational champion.
You nervous?
No.
Meeting Ash and getting to know her as a person and individual, you can definitely see that she is that selfless person that's going to really allow you to push through those really hard days when they come. And that just gives you so much confidence.
I know the kind of athletes that I really wanted in my team. For me, they're like-minded people that were resilient, hardworking, and really knowledgeable and good at what they did. For Tia, I was a big fan of Tia for years before, and I was just sitting at work one day and I was like, you know, she'd be a great brakeman. I'm just gonna flick her an email. I sent her an email explaining what I was hoping to achieve and the plan of what I wanted to put together. And she replied the next day saying, like, yep, I'm really interested, and I cried a lot. And with Kiara, it was similar. I saw her heptathlon results and knew that she was the kind of athlete I was looking for.
Go, 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 go!
Lots to work on, but happy with that. It's not about who can be the fastest, it's about who can lose the less time from start to finish. And that's the name of the game.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I was wondering if you'd actually be able to, like, give me some pointers.
Okay, sure.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
What she really wants to dial in, given her stature, her length, they realize the power in her is probably in those first 3 to 5 steps.
Yeah.
So they want to make sure that's really good.
So I'm telling you what we would do.
Yeah.
So we would build it up very similar to a sprint. So it would be intensive acceleration, extensive acceleration, pickup, and flying.
What I'm really finding challenging is once I've done my hit, this next phase, I don't think I'm actually getting my hips through. So it's about finding that really nice hit transition.
So the intensive acceleration, this is the part that you're describing, which would be your first 3 big strides. And those you want to be very powerful. So the first one would be power, power, power. And then you just put the frequency on the stride that you've done on the 3rd step, and you put the frequency on that stride length. So don't overthink it. It's a very natural movement that we tend to complexify in our head, but it's a very natural movement. in the end.
See, it's interesting because your hips are now into the sled and they
Yes.
weren't before.
Do you like that better?
I do like it better.
Okay.
Because that position might be a bit trickier for you because of your limb size.
Yes.
Those first 3 steps, it's the foundation where you build on. If this is shit, you're already in a bad position. It's really hard to get it back then. But the first part is way better because you can see your hip now pushing forward and the feet are doing something. So try to keep those bigger steps going after the bounce, but then don't make small steps again. Keep it big, keep it strong.
Before we entered it, we didn't think it'd be so complex. We're talking about 3 steps, and we've spent, 70 minutes dialing in 3 steps. So there's a lot going into it.
I really want to be better, you know?
If you're already thinking about, I need to be there, that's not good. You need to be here, working on the foundation. We haven't done foundation, right? Elite is elite. That's headspace. Just because you're elite doesn't mean you're elite at this particular drill.
But do you see now how she can get that front foot up?
Yeah.
Like, look now.
Because I'm too low.
No, it's really good.
This is good.
Like look how far in front you're able, like, to get that first step.
Yeah. Everything that they're saying makes so much sense. It's just about trusting in it, you know?
CrossFit is so complementary to a lot of sports around the world, but bobsled is something that's just very different. As an individual like myself that does get impatient, you know, I get so stimulated by that variety, I wouldn't want it any other way.
How's that drive?
I think we're going like a 1.5 seconds slower.
Yeah. That push was horrific.
Right now, I'm really not happy with where my push is. I just know that there's so much more that I can improve on, and I don't want to leave it to chance because we only have 8 races and Kiara's had a lot more time in the sled with Ash. So I would like to position our team to succeed this weekend rather than selfishly wanting to slide. Of course I want to slide and I want to race, that's why I'm here. But I don't think that that is the smartest decision for the team.
I can easily get into the right positions that you're asking me for right here because I've done like now 100 hits on it, whereas I've done 3 up there.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I'm just gonna get patient with it.
Yeah.
As much as it like pains me and it's like frustrating, like if Kiara's pushing better, I'm gonna have to say to the team like Kiara has to race this weekend.
Yeah, you could. I think that would be the most professional athlete thing to do, because that's the biggest team thing. And you know you need more time. So if you need more time, you need more time. There's nothing else about it.
Yeah.
Your strength by being a little bit shorter is staying low and using the block in that position. You're unlike any of the other brakemen and you're trying to copy them. Maybe they've got femur length 3 centimeters longer and they can take a longer stride, but they don't have the ability to get into this low position that you do where that head and everything pushes off. In, pop, much better. Without a doubt, this is your strongest position. Come on, let's go. Ha! Pop, go on.
I think that was awesome. We were able to break down the start position, and I was able to get really comfortable in that set position and know what works well for me and my body type. So that's always a bonus. Since the games, I put on 5 kilos, which I think I probably have about 3 more to go. Slowly but surely going up, and I can feel every bit of it. Keep track of what we're hitting so that each session we're progressing. Even if we're not increasing all the time, just get that little bit more extra, even if it's like half a kilo. Catch it, brace, okay? Don't stop. Catch. I like this track because I get to do more. I love the braking part. I'm like, woo! And I'm up and I'm like going around and I'm like, all right, Ashleigh! It was a good track, but it's very bumpy, like the ice conditions. It's just so different to anything that I've ever slid on, you know, because I'm so experienced in this sport.
Grits of the sandpaper starts here at like 100. It's kind of like what you would do your drywall sort of thing with. Then from 800 all the way to 3,000 right here. And then we have some other stuff underneath that goes to 8,000. Yeah, so your toilet paper is more rough than the papers that we're using.
I get to like 60, I'm like, come on, just if you do 5 more, it's that much faster. There's 3 circuits going on currently. You have the Europa Cup, you have the World Cup circuit, and then you have the North America Cup, which is what we are now currently on. We were trying to figure out in terms of points and what we needed to accumulate, what's going to be the best move forward. If we can perform and position ourselves in a really good position, then we're going to accumulate more points here than what we would have staying on the World Cup circuit.
Look at this! Oh.
So basically we rented this sled while we're here in America. Our actual Rogue sled is back over currently in Latvia, and we got this for 3 races here. First time being in it and pushing it. First time for Ash driving it. If we do our absolute best and we don't actually end our goal, we're still going to look back and be like, we did absolutely everything we can. We can't be disappointed with that.
100%. Absolutely.
Ash has done a lot of runs on this track, and you can see as the runs go on, she's getting more confident and it's starting to come back to her, which is huge. I think we'll build confidence again. We'll just start almost from scratch again.
I'm really happy with today. The ice was way better than expected. So the first run was ripping. We're flying on the first run.
Did that feel good for you? Felt good for me. I was a little slow in the turnover on my hands, but I can fine tune that tomorrow.
Timing was on point. Popped up lovely.
So you should be giving back by there. Now you're making that straight line down to where your right foot is.
So what I did last week, what I'm going to, in my head, do again. Yeah. So you come out in 7, in 7, long, up catch.
Yeah, exactly. That'll do it.
Here, I want to like work on getting my hips through a little bit more in my drive phase.
Yep.
Like think of like squatting down a little bit more.
Yep.
And having your arms bent, and then you push through.
This one felt the best. These last 48 hours have just been unbelievably beneficial for our team and for the survival of our team. I feel like people can really see that there's still a chance for that golden ticket to the Olympics. We just definitely need to make sure that we execute properly today so that we can secure those points that we need.
I think we're very capable of number one.
Go, come on. I think right now I'm in that transitional period where, okay, cool, coach is done. Now the husband wants to see her succeed. Obviously, I want her to crush everything she does as a coach, but beyond that, as a husband, I want her to reach that goal and beyond, right? Like, I know the effort biasly because I've seen her do it. I want her to get everything that she puts into it, and some. So I know she works bloody hard. I know she works the hardest.
Second. Ah. Oh well, that's good.
So let's just break it down. We just got to follow, maybe hold that shape a hundredth longer. Bang, good knee drive, jerk up. Yeah, we're just talking, how do we get 500 somewhere?
Yeah, okay.
You get 500s here, we're going to get it down the bottom.
I think it's going to be fast. I think there's a great opportunity here today.
So I've put them in first at the moment with 700s to spare. Push was good, it's better than before.
Felt like I was getting like really good, powerful drives. Like I would have thought that was my best hit ever.
At the end of the day, don't complicate it, hey? Just low and go, smack it, keep that continuously going, jump in.
Signing up for this, it wasn't like it was going to be a walk in the park. I went and I faced those adversities and those challenges. It gets you fired up. I think that that's worth it.